Hello, students of class 9. Let us continue with the chapter Climate. We have already done two seasons. We have done the cold weather season and the hot weather season. Now, let us do the advancing monsoon season. The advancing monsoon season is, in fact, the rainy season. The rainy season starts here immediately after the summer months. The heat of the summer months is mainly responsible for pulling the southeast trade winds up to India. Now, the greater the heat of the summer months, the faster will be the arrival of the monsoon winds and more will be the volume of rainfall received. However, these are also controlled by other factors which we have discussed in one of our previous videos. In fact, a total of 15 factors control the arrival of these monsoon winds in India. Now, these monsoon winds are the originally southeast trade winds. The southeast trade winds blow just south of the equatorial low pressure belts, and the southeast trade winds have to cross the equator to enter into the northern hemisphere. The southeast trade winds are now forced to change their direction from southeast to southwest. The reason is that the Coriolis force is present there, and the Coriolis force forces the winds in the northern hemisphere to move to the right of its original path. So the original path was southeast. Now as it turns to the right of its path, the direction becomes southwest. So from southeast they turn southwest. So the winds now move in a southwesterly direction after crossing the equator, and they move towards our country. And as they strike against different relief features, they give rainfall. Not only that, they are also controlled by the intense low pressure system. Wherever the low pressure is stronger, the winds will be attracted to that direction and they will be forced to give rainfall. So let us see in the map how these winds move and they give rainfall to different parts of our country. Let us see through the map how these winds bearing rain, the southeast trade winds, now named as southwest monsoon winds, give rain to different parts of our country. So let us study it with the help of the map. Now children, let us study this with the help of a map, that how the rain bearing winds enters our country. Now the summer heat causes an intense low pressure in the central India. Now this low pressure is influential in pulling the winds. Now the winds first strike the southernmost part of our country and gets divided into two branches, and one branch enters into the Arabian Sea and it is known as Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. The other branch which enters into Bay of Bengal is known as the Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. This I have already discussed before in one of the videos, that how these winds are entering and their pathway. So this Arabian Sea branch gives rainfall along the western coastal plain. So the western coastal plain receives heavy rainfall. Similarly, this part, the northeastern part of our country, also receives very heavy rainfall. These two parts of our country receives quite heavy rainfall, And we all know, children, that here there is a place named Monsoon which receives the maximum rainfall in the world. This place, Monsoon is very important for India because this is the rainiest place in the world, and this Monsoon we have already located in the map, children. This Monsoon is very close to Bangladesh border, and it is in the district of Cherrapunji in Meghalaya. Now this means the Bay of Bengal branch moves into the northern part of our country. It strikes the Garo Khasi Jaintia hills and give heavy rainfall to Meghalaya and Assam also. After this, it gets divided into two branches. One branch moves to the northeastern part, the other branch turns towards the northern plain and gives rainfall to Assam, West Bengal, and proceeds into the northern plain. Then we have this Arabian Sea branch, which gets also divided into two. One of them moves between the Vindhyas and Satpuras and enter into our central India. They are attracted towards this low pressure system that prevails in the central India. They give rainfall to this part. Okay, it is our Chota Nagpur plateau. This portion is our Chota Nagpur plateau. Apart from this, children, this wind also enters and moves towards the northern India, but it does not give rainfall to this area because it is moving parallel to the Aravalli ranges. Meanwhile, this branch, that is the Bay of Bengal branch, enters and continues in the northern plain. A part of it gives rainfall to Rajasthan. Eastern Rajasthan gets some rainfall, and some rainfall is also occurring in this part of Rajasthan, though it is very, very less, but it gets rainfall. Both of them merges close to Delhi. Both the branches merges close to Delhi, and our western part, that is Punjab, Haryana, gets some rainfall from both these branches together. Now here one thing is important, children, that this low pressure is the one which is very much instrumental for pulling the winds anywhere within the country. Wherever the low pressure will be more intense, the winds will be moving towards that direction. Our Deccan Plateau gets comparatively lesser rainfall because this lies in the rain shadow area. It gets less rainfall. This part also gets very less rainfall. So in this way, the entire country gets rainfall within a month. Now here, children, we will come across one term known as break in the monsoon. Now break means it is the dry period within the rainy season. Like for example, suppose these winds are causing rainfall in this part. Okay, this part is getting quite heavy rainfall. So it is causing rainfall here. The air is cooled down, the land is cooled down after rainfall, and so gradually this portion gets cooler. So the low pressure is changed to high pressure. Now suppose this portion have not got rainfall. Here it is hot. So if it is hot here, there will be low pressure here, and the winds, these rain bearing winds, will move here. Now meanwhile rainfall has stopped here. So there will be a gap because again the low pressure formation has to take place. Then only the winds will move here and cause rainfall. So this gap is known as break. When it is raining in this portion, it will be dry here. Again, when it is raining here, it will be dry here. So These dry days are known as breaks in the monsoon, breaks in the monsoon season. And this break happened because the original low pressure gets converted to high pressure after the rainfall, and so again we have to wait for the creation of low pressure. Wherever the low pressure will be there, suppose if the low pressure is here, the wind will move towards this direction. After rainfall here, it will again move to another part. Suppose here is low pressure, the winds will move from here to here. So the winds are pulled by the low pressure. Lower the pressure, more will be the winds moving there and causing rainfall. But one thing we have to keep in mind, it is this portion, eastern part of our country and the southwestern part of our country, which receives the maximum amount of rainfall, because as the winds move within the country, the amount of rainfall goes on decreasing because there is no other source for picking up moisture. So these winds are pulled by the low pressure system. When there is rainfall in the hilly areas, like the mountainous areas are receiving rainfall, then the plain area will be dry. And we all know that every year when there is rainfall in the hilly portion, when there is rainfall in this portion, it causes devastating flood in the plain area. Rainfall in the hilly portions of the country, mountainous portion of the country increases the volume of water in the rivers, and the northern plain gets devastated by flood during the rainy months. Now these floods are no doubt destructive, but also it leaves behind a huge depth of fertile soil, which is very much beneficial for cultivation. Anyway, the rainy season, the monsoon season lasts for around 2 to 3 months, and this rainy season gives us a bountiful of crops. It's very much beneficial for our farmers, but these monsoons are known for its uncertainty. There is no fixed date of its arrival. There is no fixed date of returning back. Everything depends upon the pressure system that develops here, and the amount of rainfall also varies from year to year. But still, our farmers wait eagerly for the monsoon rain every year. So, the monsoons are very important, very vital for the economy of India, because 75% of our population is farmers, and the success of the crops depends on the rains. So, monsoons are very much welcome to our country after the great summer heat. So children, the monsoons are very irregular in its arrival, similarly in its retreat. The number of breaks that we get is not same every year. The number of dry days sometimes may be very less, and sometimes it may be a huge length of time. Sometimes it causes drought for the country, sometimes there is flood. All this disturbs the farming schedule of our farmers. In some years we have bumper harvest, in some year the harvest is so less that it affects the livelihood of so many peoples who are directly or indirectly linked to this profession. So children, next day we will do the retreating monsoon seasons, and we will end the chapter next day with the distribution of rainfall and monsoon as a unifying bond. I hope you all have understood the portion very well. Thank you children. Have a nice day.